Hey everybody, we're gonna see how well my phone cooperates with Facebook Live tonight. If it gets to be where it just doesn't want to work, then I will just stop because I don't feel like dealing with all that this evening. But I did want to at least try and say hello to everyone and find out how you're doing and how your February has been and how your week is going so far. Um, I feel like February has been kind of a weird month. Baby is 3 months old now. Hey ladies, thanks for jumping on. Um, Let me know how you're doing and how your month has been. Um, so baby is 3 months old now, and I feel like I'm getting into our new normal. But I'm still figuring it out. So I have not been as active here in this community as I would have liked to, although I do still try to show up. But I kind of feel like it's more just whatever's on my mind at the moment, and I like to have a little bit more consistency and cohesiveness in here just to kind of keep the train of thought intact. So I kind of feel like I've been all over the place this month. So I'm going to try to do better going forward. But, there's always an adjustment period when we have a big change in our lives, and adding on a new baby is a big change. So we're working on that, getting into our new normal and all of those things. So but something that I have been thinking about a lot this month is being intentionally joyful and intentional about choosing joy and finding joy. And especially when we are busy moms, that is something that we do have to be very intentional about, I believe. And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught up in our to-do lists and the things that we have on our minds that we need to do. And some of those things are legitimate. We do need to do things. But we also, I think, need to stop sometimes and pay attention to what we have and appreciate our children and our families and our friends, and just make sure that we are choosing joy, not filling our days with busyness, because that's not what life is about. There are things that need to be done, and it is good to be productive and make wise use of your time and be a good steward of your time. But that doesn't mean always being busy. And so I think it's important for us to stop and be purposeful and intentional about choosing joy. And joy, contrary to happiness, is something that we can have no matter what is happening in our lives. Happiness is an emotion, and it's something that is very much affected by the things that are going on in our lives and going on around us, and that's fine. That's happiness. That's just what it is. But we can have joy even when we're not happy. We just need to be intentional about it and make that decision. Joy is much deeper than happiness. It is something that we choose to do. Happiness, to some extent, I would say, is a choice as well. But I also would say it's very hard to choose happiness if you're not already choosing to be joyful. So they kind of go hand in hand in that way. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot about that this month, and working hard to find joy in my daily tasks and taking care of my children and my husband and my home and in homeschooling. And it's really kind of amazing what happens when you are intentional and you are doing that on purpose. It becomes a lot easier to do it without having to really think about it It's still a decision that you make, and it's still something you do with intention. But just like exercising, the more you do it, the stronger you get and the easier it becomes. And so it's the same thing with choosing to be joyful and being intentional about it, is that at first it might be difficult, especially in areas where you don't really feel joyful naturally. There are household tasks that, all of us have household tasks that we may not like. And so it can be very hard to be joyful. And that, of course, is a very small example. There are much bigger things in our lives that can make it much more difficult to choose joy. But in the day in and day out, quote unquote, mundane life, sometimes it can be very difficult to be joyful. We get caught up in just doing what needs to be done, or maybe we're unhappy with the mundane and unhappy with the things that we need to do and with our responsibilities. And sometimes as moms, maybe we feel like we've lost ourselves in our motherhood, and maybe we feel like our kids are, as much as we love them, sometimes moms might feel like they're kind of getting in the way, or I've just different things that I've heard moms talk about, and lost my train of thought. But it all comes back to choosing to be joyful. Find joy in those things. Look for the joy in those things. If you feel as though you've lost yourself, don't, and this is something that I want to talk about more, but as far as it being intentional about choosing joy, don't go looking for yourself outside of your motherhood. Find joy in your motherhood. Look at who you are now and what you've grown into, and find joy in that. If you feel like your kids are just getting on your last nerve, they're just too much for you, or they're getting in the way of something that you want, just stop and be intentional about finding joy in your children. And that's another thing that I want to talk about more, but those are some ideas that I want to expand on in the future. But just for now, just think of different ways that you can choose joy right where you are, especially in the difficult things. And when you start doing that on purpose, it's not always easy at first. Oh, goodness. You're okay. It's not always easy at first, and you don't always want to. But do it anyway. Discipline yourself. Be intentional about it. Do it on purpose. Do the hard work, and then it will get easier. And joy will come much more easily to you. The more you exercise that muscle, the stronger it will get, and the easier it will be to do the thing. And find joy right where you are. You don't have to change your circumstances. You just need to change your attitude. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I didn't come on here with any outline or any plan of what to say. That's just kind of off the top of my head what I've been thinking about a lot this month, and I just want to encourage you all to do that, to be intentional about choosing joy, even in the hard, especially in the hard, and know that you can do it, even if you don't feel like it. You can do it. I have faith in you. Sorry, I forgot to turn off or to silence my phone before I started this. But anyway, that's my encouragement to you, is to think about it. Where can you choose joy, and how can you choose joy, and how can you do that on purpose? And I would love to hear your thoughts. If anyone did comment while I was on, it's not showing up. So if you did comment while I was live, I will revisit the comments later. And if you comment later, I should get a notification about it and revisit it then. So please do share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. And I believe this is an area that we all can encourage each other. We all have different experiences and slightly different perspectives, and maybe different opinions. And I would love to hear all of that. This is a great place to converse and learn and grow and encourage each other and support each other and just be there for each other. That's what I love about this community. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this rainy Tuesday evening. I did get a notice on my phone that I had a slow connection a couple times, but it didn't cut me off. We'll see how the replay is. Hopefully the replay will be good. If you have watched this far, it doesn't say anyone is on right now. Actually, it's not. The thing that usually shows up that shows me that 0 people are on is not on the screen right now, so I don't know if anyone's watching or not. But if you have watched this far on the live or on the replay, please drop a comment and just let me know that you were here and let me know what you think. And I'm gonna go and see if I can get this little guy to actually go to sleep. Oh, now it says 1 person is watching. Hello! I am actually getting ready to sign off, so I hope that you will listen and find the message encouraging and just be intentional about choosing and finding and exercising joy in your life. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful evening and last 2 days of February.